Hey friends, welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Kayla, and today we are going to be talking about the Whimsigoth aesthetic. Hello friends, I hope you're all doing well. So today we are continuing our aesthetic exploration series by talking about the Whimsigoth aesthetic. Now, recently I saw Alexis Sunshine83, who is a fellow thrift YouTuber here on YouTube, do a Whimsigoth thrift with me video, and actually one or two of you guys actually commented that you wanted to see this aesthetic on the channel as well. So that is the plan for today. We're going to be talking all things Whimsigoth. I'm going to share with you a brief sort of rundown of the aesthetic. So I've got my notes here and let's jump right on in. Now, interestingly enough, when I looked this up on aestheticwiki.com, it didn't show up, but I did see Woodland Goth. Now, Woodland Goth does seem different from Whimsigoth. It seems a little bit more witchy than this aesthetic does, though this aesthetic does have sort of witchy vibes to it too. It's just that, I don't know, it felt different enough. I'll have some inspiration pictures up of Whimsigoth and then also Woodland Goth. I think they're really similar, but I do see some differences with the Whimsy versus Woodland. Woodland seems like maybe it airs a little bit more on like the darker tones, whereas Whimsy plays with sort of lighter tones and sort of those whimsical elements. Also, Gizmo is asleep at my feet, so if you hear him snoring in the audio, I'm so sorry. He is a snory dog. Okay, so that said, the term Whimsigoth was coined by a man named Evan Collins, who is the co-founder of the Consumer Aesthetics Research Institute. According to housedigest.com, it uses the heaviness and opulence of Gothic style and the light airiness of whimsical themes. I think you can see this really clearly in the color palette that both plays with jewel tones and gem tones, so those dark sort of opulent greens and purples and blues like navy, and then it also plays with creams and sort of sage greens and things like that. So you've got a nice mix of the more darker tones, the more opulent tones, the blacks, the grays, the navies, and then you also have the sort of light and airy tones that really play with the whimsical part of this aesthetic. Popular influences for this aesthetic are Stevie Nicks, Phoebe Buffay from Friends, Lisa Bonet. LOL absolutely butchered her name. It's Lisa Bonet. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Charmed, Practical Magic, The Craft, and basically overall this aesthetic plays a lot with dark 90s witchy looks. It also plays a lot with sort of astrological symbolism, lots of moons and stars and suns and things like that. Now, I already kind of said this, but the color palette for this aesthetic is gem or jewel tones, things like dark oranges, dark purples, dark greens, so like an emerald, a ruby, an amethyst, etc., etc. And then it also plays with the lighter tones like creams and whites, and then of course neutrals, blacks, and things like that. So there's a lot of color that goes on with this aesthetic, even though it's like a goth aesthetic. And a lot of the times when people think of goth, they think of just all black outfits. Black, when talking about just like pure goth, is sort of the bread and butter, is the main color, but there are certainly other colors involved in the aesthetic too. Okay, now I do have here a quite long list. It's not exhaustive, but it is extensive. A list of popular clothing items and prints that can be found within this aesthetic. So floral prints, crochets, and knitted items. Particularly, I've seen a lot of people wearing crocheted tops and sort of knitted long cardigans, things like that, really popular. Combat boots, Converse, high top black Converse would be a really great option here, or a jewel tone Converse. I think high tops were much more popular in the inspiration pictures and then low tops, but I think either could work. Textured tights, like ones with florals or stripes or something. Long straight skirts and dresses, very much dresses and skirts of the 90s. Wrap tops, long line or cropped tops, so either really long tops or crop tops, but not really the ones that sit right in the middle. High necks and v-necks. Similarly, I've noticed lots of like high sort of interesting neck details, and then also v-necks, but not a ton in ways of scoop necks or cowl necks or anything like that. Long cardigans, like I already said. Cardigans and sort of dusters seem like they would work really, really well for this. Mesh tops as well, or as we call them, second skin tops. Anything with this sort of mesh material, sort of long and flowy, or like tighter fitted mesh tops to layer camisoles or lacy tops over top of it. Really popular within this aesthetic. Again, astrological motifs, really popular. Stars, moons, suns, things like that. I imagine zodiac signs are popular within this aesthetic. Tote bags, particularly sort of a pop of color tote bags, I noticed were really popular. And then finally, bell or floaty sleeves. It seems like in this aesthetic, the more extravagant the sleeve, the better. So get your medieval and Renaissance tops out because they fit this aesthetic. Okay, so those are sort of the highlights of this aesthetic, the highlight reel, if you will. I didn't see any criticisms for this aesthetic, but if you have, or if maybe you yourself have a criticism of the aesthetic, feel free to leave it down below if you want to start that dialogue in the comments. And aside from that, I guess now is time for the outfits. I put together 5 outfits. A lot of the pieces are secondhand. I borrowed some from my mom. Anyway, without further ado, here are the 5 Whimsigoth outfits that I put together. I hope you guys enjoy them. So this first outfit here is definitely going to be a new favorite for me. I can see myself wearing this all the time. It is so comfortable and so cute, and I just really love how all of the pieces came together. They're seemingly quite simple pieces, but once put together, they really just give off a very specific sort of kind of almost bohemian, edgy style, which I think is exactly what Whimsigoth is looking to do. So starting from the bottom, I have on my brown, what we call adventure boots here on the channel. They're just like brown, almost like combat boots. I do think that if I had black combat boots or high top black Converse, they would have worked even better to sort of marry the whole look together and bring some of the darkness on the top down to the bottom and just ground the outfit a little bit more. Unfortunately, I didn't have those, so I did just go with what I had, and I do still really like these boots with this ensemble. Moving up, I have on my brown tiered peasant skirt. This I thrifted at the Goodwill. It's seen better days, but I will wear it until it falls apart. This is one of my favorite skirts in my wardrobe. I've had it for probably, if I had to guess, maybe like 4 or 5 years in my wardrobe, and it is just such a great staple. Peasant skirts like this are really popular within this aesthetic. They really play with the sort of a whimsical side of Whimsigoth, and I love it so much. I went ahead and accessorized the skirt with this incredible belt that I found at Target. I had actually seen Alexa Sunshine 83's video and was scrolling through the comments, as one does, and noticed that somebody had commented that Target had star and moon belts. So naturally, I went to Target and I did in fact find a star and moon belt. This belt is so cute, and I cannot wait to style this with as many outfits as I possibly can. It was also pretty affordable. It was only $15, so not bad for a solid like metal belt. Moving up, I have on this black sort of string front shirt. I've seen this style getting really popular lately, especially within the sort of Y2K sort of aesthetic, and I also noticed some people wearing it within the Whimsigoth aesthetic as well. I actually picked this top up at Burlington over the weekend, and I actually really love it. It's just like a nice knit material. It's got the tie string in the front, and it also has a very gentle collar in the back. I think this is a really great top, and I can actually see myself wearing this with tons of different outfits. I feel like pairing the black and brown together really sort of married the whimsy and goth aesthetics together that give us Whimsigoth. For jewelry, you guys probably know this if you've been around for a while, I do make a lot of my own jewelry, so I actually did go ahead and make all of the jewelry for this video. So this is just a star and then North Star necklace that I made. The chain is gold filled, and then the pendants themselves are actually gold plated, and I just order my components on Etsy through different distributors and put all of the pieces together. So I made this necklace and I am absolutely in love with it. I cannot wait to wear this all the time. I also made my earrings here. These are just some black spike earrings. I actually made these for New Year's Eve. I went to an emo theme party, and I just felt like they were a fun way to tie in, again, the goth part of Whimsigoth. I also decided to just throw my hair in these little space buns, and I thought it gave it a sort of funky flair. And this is the overall look. This is definitely going to be an outfit you see me in this fall. I absolutely love it. Okay, the unexpected love of this video is this outfit here. I did not expect to absolutely just fall in love with this outfit. So starting from the bottom, I have on my over the knee boots. Again, if I had black combat boots, I think they would have gone really well with this too, but I didn't. And so I just went with the only black boots I had that weren't heeled, and those are these ones here. These are just my over the knee boots that I got from Target last year at the end of the season. I think they come out with these basically every year, so if you're looking for a pair, these ones are the wide calf ones because I do have pretty wide calves. Moving up, I have on this incredible vintage dress my friend Alyssa, who I talk about all the time here on my channel, actually sent to me a while back. She sent me just sort of a bunch of clothes she was getting rid of out of her wardrobe, and this is one of those pieces. I had it sitting in the laundry room for the longest time because it's a dry clean only piece, and I finally got around to doing the at-home dry cleaning stuff, and I cleaned it over the weekend, and holy moly, I've been missing out because this dress is incredible. This outfit does kind of remind me of something Lorelai Gilmore might wear, and honestly it's giving me like all of the vibes. So this dress, like I said, is a vintage dress. It's just this really lovely cream color, and it's got this dark floral print all across it with like those deep burgundies and purples and greens that I think are really prevalent within the Whimsigoth aesthetic. I think this is a great way to sort of play with the whimsy with the light and bright colors, and then bring in the goth with the black and the darker tones as well. Over top of it, I have on this mesh sort of netted tie front cardigan, if you will. I just made this in like 30 minutes. It was like a quick sew. It definitely needs some adjustments, but overall I think it's actually a really fun piece. For my hair, I just threw it up in a claw clip. This is a really popular style just in general right now, but also it was in the 90s and it is for this aesthetic. For jewelry, again, like I said, I did make all of the jewelry for this video, so I just have on these dangling star earrings. These are really simple to make. If you guys want a tutorial on this, I can definitely do this over on Instagram, and I can make a YouTube short here as well. I just absolutely love how these earrings turned out. I also just have on a little fairy necklace that I made with just a charm and a silver chain. For this next outfit, I'm really playing with the sort of earthy tones that are really popular within this aesthetic, really playing with the opulent greens and browns instead of leaning really far into the goth side. This sits a little bit more, I would say, on the whimsy side. Now, starting with the shoes, I have on my brown combat boots again. I think brown works for this outfit because my top is already brown, but if you wanted to switch this out for a black top and black combat boots, I think that could look really cool too. Moving up, I have on this dark green floral printed skirt. I actually just made this skirt as well. Also, this was a fairly simple process. I can leave the video that I use to make half circle skirts down below. It's just an incredible tutorial. It's a great resource, and I'm not like the best at tutorials, so I'll leave you guys that link down below if you're interested in learning how to make half circle skirts. But that is what this skirt here is, and then I just added a slit to give it a little bit of sauciness because, again, this is something I saw a lot in inspiration pictures, is fun sort of slits, which were also very popular in the 90s. Moving up, I have on this brown tie front top that has the sheer netting on the top as well, and then it's a sort of knitted material as you go lower down. Again, the netted sort of mesh material is really, really popular within Whimsigoth, and so I felt like this was a really fun piece to play with. It did originally have sleeves on it, but I did cut the sleeves off because I didn't love how they looked. But this is also from Burlington, and I picked this up over the weekend. Over top of it, I did throw on this long green cardigan that I thrifted from Olive Branch TC, which is an online boutique slash thrift store, and they also have a storefront in Ohio. This I felt like was the perfect way to sort of tie this whole look together. Long dusters and cardigans were super popular within all of the inspiration pictures I saw for Whimsigoth, so I felt like this was a perfect way to sort of tie the whole outfit together. And again, this is going to be another outfit you're going to see me in all the time this fall. For accessories, I'm just wearing that North Star chain necklace again, and I also have on some moon and star earrings that I made out of raw brass pendants. Okay, moving on to the most costumey, I would say, of the bunch is this look here. I mean, this is channeling witchy vibes, sort of witchy 90s hipster is what this kind of feels like. But starting from the bottom, I have on my white Converse. If I had high top black Converse, I think they would have looked perfect with this outfit, or combat boots. I also think if I had textured tights, this would have been a fun outfit to play with textured tights with as well. Moving up, I have on this black flowy sleeve dress. This is actually from Spirit Halloween. I bought this last year. It's like literally a witch dress, and I just felt like I had seen so many people wearing dresses with these kinds of sleeves or tops with these kinds of sleeves. I wanted to find a way to incorporate it, so I did sort of fold it up around a belt around my waist to make it a little shorter, to make it a little bit more wearable every day. And then I paired this red maroon pinafore over top of it. The pinafore I thrifted at the Goodwill a couple years ago. It is a little bit ripped and it's seen better days, but again, this is one of those pieces I just love so much. I will wear it to death. For accessories, I just have on this black wide brim hat that I've had for probably like 8 years now. It's quite old. I got it when I was in college from Nasty Gal. And then I have on those same star dangling silver earrings for this outfit, because I felt like the sleeves were kind of the statement and the outfit itself was kind of already loud enough. I didn't feel like it needed a ton of accessories. So this is all we went for. Okay, and then the final look is another one that I surprisingly loved way more than I thought I was going to. Again, I think black high top Converse could have looked really cool with this, but even more so, I think Doc Martens or just black chunky combat boots would have just looked so sick with this outfit. I did just throw on my white Converse. Imagine they're black. I think it would look way better. But moving up, I have on this black sort of A-line shaped dress. It's got a cute ruffle on the bottom, which I felt like played really nicely with the whimsy part. And it also has a crocheted top that I felt like really gave that fun bohemian vibe that is very prevalent in the Whimsigoth aesthetic. This is just a little tank top dress that I got from Burlington as well. And then over top of it, I actually threw on this sheer multicolored jacket it's actually my mom's. I felt like this was something I had seen in a ton of the inspiration pictures, and so I thought this was a fun way to incorporate this piece. This is actually a vintage piece from the mid-2000s, and I just felt like this was such a fun outfit. I like to just tie it around the waist, but you can also wear it loose because long lines are also very prevalent within Whimsigoth. For accessories, I have on the silver accessories again, the dangling silver stars, and the little fairy necklace. I also threw on this little black baguette bag, though tote bags are huge within this aesthetic, and if I had like a really big oversized jewel tone tote bag, I think that could have looked really great as well. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I actually love this aesthetic, like really truly love it. I am gonna start incorporating some Whimsigoth outfits into my everyday outfit rotation. Yeah, it's like a beautiful aesthetic. Let me know if there's any other aesthetics you guys want me to try out. I recently just like scrolled through the list of aesthetics on aestheticwiki.com. There's hundreds. So I feel like I might just need to start scrolling through and picking some out to try out here and there. But let me know if there's any specific ones you guys want to see. I do have a running list as you guys suggest them. So I do already have a small stockpile of aesthetics that need to be explored a little further. Anyway, I think that's all I actually have for you guys. So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe down below if you're new and you want to join the fam. I upload fashion related content every single week. You guys can also check me out on social media if you like. I'm super active over on Instagram, TikTok, and here on YouTube Shorts actually. And that is actually all I have. So don't forget it costs absolutely nothing to be kind. So be kind to yourself and others. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.